Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are discussing summer 2026 fashion trends, and what they say is true, that trends kind of come back every 20 years or so. A lot of the trends are coming from the mid 2000s, and not in like the chaotic way where we were doing like long tops with jeans. If you remember, you remember that. But instead, things are feeling a little bit more intentional, styled, and I think I have to say that fashion is starting to feel really fun again. So today I'm going to cover all of the top 2026 summer trends. Now, before I even begin, these are just trends. If you don't like them, it doesn't matter. Wear what you like. And to be honest, some of the trends I don't really love myself. It's okay if you don't like them. These are just things that you're going to be seeing popping up everywhere in every retailer. So without further ado, let's jump right into the first trend. Trend number one, we are talking about maximalism. Now, a few years ago, we were obsessed with quiet luxury. While I personally love that aesthetic where it's just minimal, it's chic, it's tailored, it's nice, in 2026, especially in the summertime, we are seeing maximalism everywhere. That could mean fun colors, bold prints, even mix match prints. We have embellishments, we have shoes, we have everything kind of going towards a lot more fun. And that's why I think fashion is becoming a lot more fun again. And this maximalism trend is really pulling the weight for a lot of the micro trends that I'm going to be talking about in this video. So talking about texture, bold prints, mix matching, colors, all the things. This is what really is the key driver for this one. So now your outfits have a ton more personality. So if you were ever over the all beige outfits, the black and white, the simplistic styling, now is your time to shine, because apparently we are loving our maximalism. Now, personally for me, I love a cool, chic, simple outfit. So for me, this one is a lot more harder for me to get into. But if you are on the fence like myself and you want to start incorporating more fun, bold print and pattern to your outfits, you can start small, even with like a silk scarf tied around your bag that has tons of pattern. Trends go in and out so quickly, so I wouldn't even stress out about what is in style. I think, again, wear what you like, wear what you feel comfortable in, but you might be seeing a lot more print and pattern into where you shop, so keep an eye out for that. Another core trend aesthetic that we've been seeing everywhere for summer 2026, in fact, the past few summers, is our Riviera Euro summer aesthetic. So think linen sets, we have more polished dressing, you have beautiful silk scarves, you are transported to a beautiful piazza, maybe in the south of France, in Italy. What would you wear to that is basically a lot of what we were seeing out in stores. And this one for me is probably one of my favorite ones, just because who doesn't want to be pretending that they're in the south of France or the Mediterranean? So for me, this is by far my favorite. I love woven materials, linen sets, silk scarves, sunglasses. This is like that simplistic European summer look. We have soft embroidered tops, lightweight knits, cotton poplin, mini dresses, and even some more like tailored pieces. So really intentional dressing, but with that twist of Mediterranean, that twist of summer sunshine. This is it. The next summer 2026 trend is layering, and we have been seeing this layering trend kind of come through the fall, spring season. And in summer 2026, think about those lace camis under tops, layering button-down shirts under other button-down shirts. Subconsciously, I think we've been doing this all along. If you've been layering like a white t-shirt underneath your sweaters, that's exactly what's happening for summer 2026. In fact, I have already seen layered swimsuits. I saw a set at Zara recently. I don't know if I would go to that far as layering my swimwear, but you're gonna find tons of pre-layered tops, which is easy. You can just pop it on, or you can just have fun by layering interesting tops underneath your t-shirts or sweaters for the summer. So have fun with adding in that extra texture. But one that you're going to be seeing a lot of are those lace camisoles. These are totally bringing me back to the mid 2000s. I would wear this underneath every like sweater that I had in like grade school. So this is interesting to me to see us wanting to layer more lace pieces underneath our clothing. Because I was young when that trend was happening in the 2000s, for me, it kind of feels like a bit juvenile. So let me know how you feel about layering lace camisoles under tops, or just wearing lace in general. Okay, the next trend, we have polished dressing. So I think when we had a lot of work from home things going on, we were really heavily reliant on just really casual, boxy, oversized, relaxed, clothing, especially again, if you worked from home, you didn't really have to get dressed anymore. My mom still works from home, so I feel like she has been wanting to maybe start dressing a little bit more intentionally. I think that's kind of like the huge pendulum shift in 2026 and beyond, is like we're maybe over just kind of throwing on our sweats and like heading out the door. Maybe we want to have more intentional dressing. So having outfits that just have a little bit of thought put to them. Maybe things are a little bit more tailored. They aren't so oversized and boxy and loose. Maybe we have some intentional with our silhouettes, which of course we have been seeing in my other trend videos. I talked about having some more tailored silhouettes to your body. So this is, I think, a really interesting one. If you were on the fence of just wanting to feel a little bit more polished, put together, you are not alone. Definitely, this is a huge trend we've been seeing for summer 2026. Next up, it kind of ties back to that Riviera trend, and we have been seeing tons of texture embroidery. So if you ever thought of a fabric that's plain, she's gonna need a little bit more embellishment, texture, and fun. Even we've been seeing texture outside of the clothes, so things that are just like sewn on, lots of beautiful embroidered flowers. I was at Mango the other day and they had these incredible embroidered jeans at the bottom. They're a little bit see-through. I personally love this. I love texture embroidery. I think it adds a lot of interest to your outfits. That also includes like eyelet pieces, crochet. I've been seeing tons of like those smocked embroidered tops, and those were also kind of really big in the 2000s. They were like those really small micro tops, and now I've been seeing this, but maybe a little bit more modern in 2026. So really ruched tops, stretchy tops, things that add more texture to your outfits. Next up, let's talk about trending silhouettes that we've been seeing everywhere. The first one are Bermuda shorts. Okay, these are more tailored shorts. They run a little bit longer. They should stop like anywhere right above your knee, and we've been seeing them styled a ton for spring, summer 2026. And they could be like tailored shorts or even denim, and you can style them a lot of different ways. Now for me, I am personally on the fence with this one because you do have to kind of style them a little bit more intentionally. And also for me, I'm just so used to shorts being shorter that it's a little bit uncomfortable, I'm not gonna lie, to kind of try out something completely different, which I feel like is a takeaway. If you don't like something like in these trends, like you don't have to do them. So I think it looks really cool. Like when I see it on the street, when people actually wear the Bermuda shorts, I'm like, that looks cool. That looks chic. I don't know personally if I want to pull it off, but I think I can respect where respect is due. It's a really interesting silhouette. In fact, I have been seeing these shorts come out like in every retailer. So heads up, they are coming in strong, and I would love to hear thoughts on the Bermuda shorts down below. They're like the business casual of shorts. I do think it looks really chic as like an office look, even with a blazer. So I think it looks really cool. For me, I'm not sure, but I would love to hear thoughts on the Bermuda shorts down below. Another trend that I've been seeing everywhere are capri pants. And personally, when I see them on people when they're wearing them, I think it actually looks really cute. It looks chic, it's sophisticated, and it just looks a little bit different from what we've been seeing in the past. So I'm gonna give respect where respect is due. I think these outfits actually look really chic. Now, for me to do it myself, again, it's kind of like out of my comfort zone. So maybe I will go ahead and maybe try to style this silhouette, but you're gonna be seeing a lot more of these kind of more cigarette style pants, or maybe even some denim that's cropped for the spring, summer, just tighter silhouettes on the bottom, paired with maybe an oversized top. We've also been seeing that balloon trend, like even since fall. So you can see more balloon skirts, or even maybe just like flowy jogger pants, just having more of like an open shape, which actually can be really flattering if you want to like maybe balance out your top half and you want something a bit more voluminous on the bottom. It could actually be really pretty and aesthetically pleasing. If you like this, definitely you can find a lot of options in the stores. For a silhouette change for 2026 are skirts, and I mentioned this in my spring trends video, but skirts are having a major moment, especially the ones like the early 2000 skirts, the 90s skirts. Skirts are everywhere. We have linen skirts, pattern skirts, mini skirts. And again, skirts for me are just something that I'm not used to wearing a lot. However, I did style this incredible J. Crew skirt when I went to France, and I thought it was like the perfect outfit. I felt really pretty in it. So for me, I'm actually interested in trying more skirts, but they're definitely everywhere for 2026. Okay, next, let's talk about color. What colors have you been seeing personally in the stores? I think we can all agree that we've been seeing that beautiful beautiful shade of powder blue everywhere. It is everywhere. You can see it in tops, dresses, linen pieces. This is, I think, for sure like the color of the year. I know last year we were obsessed with our butter yellow. I'm wearing my butter yellow right now, still in style, but I think this blue is kind of like popping up everywhere. Now, does that mean we are tying it back to the mid 2000s when The Devil Wears Prada came out and cerulean, remember that scene in the movie? Maybe we are making a pop culture reference because The Devil Wears Prada 2 is coming out right around the corner. So I thought this was an interesting way of kind of bringing like media, pop culture, and perhaps just a color back in style. I did mention in my spring trends video though that our colors are a little bit more saturated than they are like more pastel. However, the butter yellow, almost like ivory cream, is definitely in, almost like a softer white, which I think is beautiful for the summertime, especially in a beautiful dress. We've been seeing brown everywhere, which I love brown. I think brown is so chic, especially if you wear a lot of black. I think transitioning to some brown looks is really soft. It's beautiful. It looks organic and natural. So I'm loving the brown. I have bought tons of brown this spring, summer. I think pop of red is gonna be a big trend for summer, but I don't think it has fully popped off yet. Another color that I've been seeing everywhere, which I kind of wasn't aware of, was a lot of lilac and purple. This color is not usually a thing, and I feel like I hardly own any purple items, but I've been seeing tons and tons and tons of purple colors, especially at Mango. We have some pieces at Zara. Even J. Crew had a full like lilac lavender collection. Definitely a color to keep an eye out for. Okay, let's talk about patterns. We've been seeing two patterns everywhere, which I just realized, are there any other patterns besides stripes and polka dots? I guess animal print, but I'm just thinking right now, are just these the only patterns that exist? Let me know down below if you can help me out. But we have been seeing stripes, guys, stripes everywhere, stripes, and not necessarily stripes on a t-shirt, but maybe more like bolder cabana stripes, so they're maybe a bit wider. I've been seeing stripes in basically like every bag coming out, or even just like striped pants, striped tops. And again, going back to that maximalist trend, even mixing and matching your stripes together, tons and tons of stripes happening. Plus, again, we've been seeing lots of polka dot. I do think that stripes are a bit more prominent than the polka dot ones, but I do think polka dot's super cute. You could do a cute like polka dot dress, pants, top, all the things. Two huge pattern trends we've been seeing. Okay, next, let's talk about accessories. First up, sunglasses. The biggest sunglass trend takeaway that I have are really huge, oversized sunglasses. Prada has a pair of sunglasses that we've been seeing a ton of, and not the Prada ones. I don't think they have lots of like look for lesses, especially on Amazon. These are the ones from Amazon. I just added them to my cart, and I've been seeing this sort of like silhouette on like every retailer. So if you don't want to spend $580 on Prada, you can get these ones from Amazon for under $15. But we've been seeing lots of just oversized, huge bug eye sunglasses. That's not to say that the small ones are out. I just feel like we've been kind of seeing a shift. Instead of like the super micro small sunglasses, they've become bigger. They have taken over our faces. So huge sunglasses you're going to be seeing a ton of. And let's talk bag trends. The first one is that woven trend. So it could be woven with leather, it could be woven with different materials, but basically that Bottega-esque style everywhere. So tons of woven style bags. They could be larger tote, slouchy bags, smaller bags, just woven details everywhere. And also we've been seeing a Rafia everywhere. This, in my opinion, never goes out of style, because I love Rafia, I love natural materials, and this bag is super cute. This one's from J. Crew specifically, but if you are seeing any summer bag, you're gonna see a Rafia bag, okay? So I'm so happy that we are loving our Rafia still, and this clutch, I'm telling you, I'll wear this clutch all the time. One of my favorite bag finds ever. I love her so much. Now, in addition to bag trends, we've been seeing lots of bag charms. Again, does it stem from the Labubu? Maybe. I don't know if Labubus, people are still doing Labubus. I never had a Labubu. Let me know if you love Labubus. But instead of Labubus, that's a fun word to say, we are seeing lots of bag charms. I've been seeing tons of like fruit motifs. J.W. Anderson has literally a crocheted cauliflower bag charm, also a carrot, which I thought was so interesting. And by the way, these are just trends. You don't have to buy anything, but if you want to add more fun personality to your outfits, again, going back to that maximalism trend, pop on a fun bag charm. It's definitely a conversation starter. Next up, let's talk about some shoe trends. trends. First trend that I've been seeing a lot of shift happening are sneakers are becoming a little bit more slim rather than huge and chunky. So an example I have here are my Quince sneakers. Like, look at the sole. There's hardly any sole. It's just more of like a flat style silhouette. In addition to that though, we've been seeing tons of colorful sneakers, which goes back again to that maximalism trend. So pops of color on your feet or just more of like a slim style silhouette. We've also been seeing tons of embellished fancy footwear. So if you love a good fun shoe, now is your time to shine. Again, maximalism. We've been seeing fruit on shoes, flowers on shoes, embroidered details, just like really unique, interesting silhouettes. Basically, the accessories are doing the job versus the clothing, and they are bringing tons of personality to your outfits. Now is the time to have really good fun with it and just wear like the most crazy fun shoes you can think of. You'll definitely find some unique shoes this spring, summer. The next trend for shoes, guess what, you guys? This one I thought was groundbreaking a little bit. We are seeing tons of T sandals, aka the thong. Firstly, when did the thong sandal ever go out? Just waiting. Crickets. Guys, the thong sandal has been around since forever. I don't think the thong style has ever gone out of style, but for 2026, let me tell you, you're gonna find it in sandals, heels, even ones with back straps. Just that style silhouette you're gonna find everywhere and anywhere. Are we agreeing with this? We've been seeing that one for a while now, but I love it because I have a ton of thong style shoes. Now, if you want this to be less like flip-flop looking, maybe get one in a leather material, maybe some with a square toe. I think looks effortlessly chic. Designers are selling these for a lot of money, so you don't have to spend too much on this one and you can get a really chic style. I have these ones from Amazon Essentials and these from Amazon as well. You know I love these. I love these shoes. So you're gonna be seeing this style everywhere. And kind of playing off from our fall, winter, and spring trends, backless loafers for 2026. Comfort, chic, you can wear them around in a city. And I think these are just very practical, especially the ones with a lot of ruching on them. You're gonna be seeing these everywhere. Now, if you are headed on vacation and tying back to that Euro summer trend, a shoe that's been kind of popping up on my radar, it's not totally like defining trends, but keep it in mind, the return of the grandma espadrille. Okay, espadrille wedges, espadrille flats, just like espadrilles in general are having some sort of resurface. Now, I had a pair of Viscata espadrille wedges. I will leave them here. They're on Amazon. They're handmade in Spain. I wore these my first trip to Positano back in 2018. I actually still have these. They're in New York. I have to find them, but I still do own these and I'm gonna break them out this summer. These are by far the most comfortable shoe I have ever worn. The heels like only like 2 inches tall. They're chic, they're effortless, and if you are wanting some espadrilles, I will leave these linked down below. By far my favorite. And next up, let's talk about jewelry trends of summer 2026. We are gonna have to say goodbye to minimalistic jewelry. Remember when everything was like super dainty, small, gold, tiny? Okay, no more, not for 2026. We are talking about fun, bold jewelry pieces. The first one specifically is colorful beaded necklace, like huge, almost like chunky necklaces. I have a white one on right now. These are pearls from the brand Sequin Jewelry. They have incredible pieces, especially for this trend, like so many amazing, incredible necklaces, but you can find tons of like beaded necklaces even on Amazon. I can leave a few linked down below. So instead of our gold small necklaces, think fun, colorful, bold statement. Again, it all goes back to that maximalism trend that is like the overarching theme of today's video. The next trend that I've been seeing everywhere and kind of got really into are these really fun resin or sculptural bangles. This one actually is from Amazon. I like how you can see the texture of it. And I do have a smaller wrist, but it was easy to pop on. And we've been seeing lots of more like chunky resin bracelets or even ones with color. Again, I'm more of like a neutral girly. So my take on this trend is making it more neutral aesthetic, but you will not walk into a store and not find one. You're gonna find these everywhere. And of course, with that, it's just layering your jewelry pieces together. Again, if you do like more like small dainty pieces, maybe add in a few more pieces just to layer them all together, but tons of fun, bold jewelry that we've been seeing. And I think it's just fun because, again, fashion is fun again and you can add your personality. Now, side note, which I think we've been seeing tons of with jewelry trends, are I think we all just want to be coastal mermaids, because with jewelry, oh my gosh, we've been seeing tons of fun shells, even sardine necklaces. Oh, I actually just bought one the other day. This is a sardine choker necklace. Like, are you absolutely kidding? I can even layer this together. How cute is that? I saw it and I had to have it. So again, fun, just like coastal vibes, which goes back to that Euro summer Riviera kind of aesthetic where we just want to be in the Mediterranean Sea all the time. Definitely what I'm here for. Okay, so there goes some top 2026 summer fashion trends. I would love to hear your thoughts on these down below. Which trend is your favorite? Which one are you skipping? I'm totally curious. What are we feeling for 2026? But I have to mention at the end of this video, there are things that are always trending, and I think things that always come back in style. So if you have more of a classic style, I wouldn't even sweat it if you're worried about not being too maximalist or whatever. Linen is always in style. Beautiful natural woven bags, just classic pieces always look chic in my opinion. So if you don't like any of these trends, it's okay. And if you like to wear more classic, simplistic things, do you. So I'm gonna keep wearing what I like. I think it's just fun to see where things are headed. If you're going into the store, maybe you can kind of understand why you're seeing these bracelets everywhere versus more dainty jewelry pieces. So I think it's just interesting to know what's happening and you can participate in it or not. If you enjoyed this one, I hope you did. Please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out so much. And if you haven't already seen my spring fashion trends video, I'm gonna leave that one here linked next. I cover different trends in that video, which we are still seeing. So definitely check that one out next. And with that, I hope you guys have a super awesome rest of your week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.